We made USAA insurance for veterans like James. When he found out how much USAA was helping members save, he said,
"It's time to switch."
We'll help you find the right coverage at the right price. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. Restrictions apply.
Local news, national news, even feel-good news, delivering the topics that are relevant to you.
That's why I listen to Joe. He covers it all.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Oh my goodness, is it Friday already? I hardly even noticed. It's like we don't count the days until Friday gets here, right? No, of course we're well aware that it's Friday, and we're glad you're joining us. You can watch us if you'd like to be able to watch the behind the scenes here, if you want to be able to see what the faces on the radio actually look like. You can look for the live video stream right now on the WDBO Facebook page. You can also look for the Joe Kelley Show Facebook page. You'll be able to find that there, too. And I also ask that you follow the Joe Kelley Show Facebook page. We would love to be able to build that audience there, so thank you for that. A couple things to draw your attention to in the app today. A couple news stories that you have to see to fully understand. One of which is a woman goes dumpster diving for the first time. She goes dumpster diving behind a PetSmart. And you know how they have those little fish, those little betta fish that they sell at pet stores, and they come in like little plastic clear cups? Well, this lady finds dozens and dozens and dozens of live fish thrown in a dumpster in their little cups. Well, that's not good, right? I mean, Laurel, that's not appropriate behavior to throw away live fish.
No, they're living live creatures. You can't just do that to them.
I mean, I wonder why they would do that. I wonder why they would just throw them out like that. But, of course, what is the alternative? To set them free in a pond nearby? But, I don't know that that's a good idea either, because that throws off the ecosystem.
Right, but I feel like, so the problem is they see them as product, right? And the product doesn't sell, you toss it.
Right.
But they're living things. Like, do they do that with the birds and the ferrets? And that you can't just throw them in the dumpster, right? Because I know fish different.
Because I know that I have flushed a few down the toilet before. Though I will say, no, hang on. I was about to say they were dead at the time, but I recall one of them might have been alive when it got flushed down the toilet. But yeah, so that was bad. And then this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So you know how Bud Light is going through all that grief right now because of their relationship with transgender TikToker Dylan Mulvaney. Well, evidently, and here's what's kind of funny. I don't know how the Dylan Mulvaney thing became so well known, so I don't want to say popular, but just so well known so fast. Because other companies beyond Bud Light have been doing similar things for years now. In June of 2022, so well before the Bud Light scandal, Ford Motor Company released a truck that they call it this, the Very Gay Raptor. And I'm assuming the Raptor is a type of Ford pickup truck. There's a Ford Raptor?
Correct.
That's not what you drive, is it?
No, I drive a Colorado.
That's a Chevy, right?
That's a Chevy.
Okay. So a Ford Raptor, but even Ford in their advertisement for it calls it a Very Gay Raptor. And now that even though this is not new, and this came out in June of 2022, and frankly, it debuted in the United Kingdom, I didn't know we even had pickup trucks in the UK. I thought they just drive those tiny little small European cars. But the truck is rainbow. It's painted rainbow style. It looks like a pretty badass truck. The color style really wouldn't. It's too busy for me. I just want one color. I'm simple like that. But if you want to be able to see the commercials that Ford put together for their, quote, Very Gay Raptor, you can see that right now in the WDBO app. You'll also be able to see all those fish, all those live betta fish that were thrown in a dumpster. And then there's this story. In Indiana, a prison inmate is caught hiding a pair of scissors in a particular location. Now, I probably don't need to be any more specific than that, right? In a particular location. And I have two comments to make about the scissors. First of all, they're Fiskars. the brand Fiskars. Fiskars is the single best brand of scissors on the planet.
You do have a favorite pair of scissors.
Fiskars. Fiskars are... Let me tell you.
He carries them with him.
Fiskars are the absolute best. And Fiskars, for back when people used to do, what's it called? When they make picture books, little...
Scrapbooking.
When people were scrapbooking, Fiskars suddenly found new life. Fiskars became the gotta have pair of scissors. And so this guy not only had scissors in his prison wallet, so to speak, but he had Fiskar scissors up his prison wallet. And beyond that, they were 8.5-inch Fiskar scissors. 8.5 inches. I don't guess I understand human anatomy very well, because I don't understand how 8.5-inch scissors can be put in a particular location. But if you want to see a picture, not of the prison wallet, but we have a picture of the scissors next to a ruler that shows you how big the scissors actually are. and not that I looked, but the scissors are remarkably clean.
Oh,
I would think in the prison wallet they would get a little dirty. But how would you like to be? And this is why I would never be a prison guard. There are certain jobs that I wouldn't take for $1 million. School teacher would be one of them. Police officer would be another. And prison guard would be like at the top of my list of jobs that I just would not be qualified for. But to have to be the poor individual who retrieved the 8.5-inch Fiskar scissors from a particular location, that is not a job that you could pay me enough money to do, period. So there you go. There's some stories of interest right now in the WDBO app. Just tap the news button in the app and you'll be able to see that, or you can go to WDBO.com. Coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, in the next hour, we're going to play Would You Rather. We have our whole team up here tonight, and we're going to play Would You Rather. We got some really, really good Would You Rather questions. Would you believe, Laurel, that some of the questions deal with ways to die?
Definitely. And if there aren't any monkeys in this line of questioning, I'm going to be...
There aren't any monkeys, but
what?
But there is an orangutan.
Same thing.
Is it? Is a monkey the same thing as an orangutan?
Close enough.
Orangutan, by the way, was an answer on Jeopardy a couple nights ago. I think it was last night, actually. All right, let's talk about gun violence in America. Gun violence surges ahead of the opioid crisis as America's top public health concern. That according to the latest edition of the Axios Ipsos American Health Index. Now listen, this is an incredibly important conversation, because if gun violence gets declared as a bona fide public health issue, that means the CDC has control over guns, which is, for people who are gun fans, not something that you want to have happen. You do not want the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to be addressing gun violence. Believe me, there are a lot of lawmakers and a lot of people at the CDC who would like nothing more than for gun violence to be declared a public health concern. But after the recent series of mass shootings that we have had, a lot of attention has been focused on that. 26%, in fact, this is a plurality of respondents. It's not a majority. It's 26% of respondents say that access to guns or firearms is the number one threat to American public health. 26%, that's up from 17% in February. 25%, so just slightly less than that, said the biggest threat is opioids and fentanyl. That's virtually unchanged since the last poll. 20% said obesity, which is almost unchanged as well. COVID-19. Remember when COVID-19 was a thing? I'm old enough to remember when COVID-19 was a thing. COVID-19 has slipped to the bottom of public health threats at 3%, currently tied with smoking alcohol abuse, and unsafe driving. Wow. How quickly we purge COVID from our consciousness. There's been an increased push to portray gun violence as a public health issue, with experts factoring employer costs, insurance claims, mental health counseling, and other variables. Former GOP Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist wrote earlier this month that deaths from firearms has grown into an official public health crisis, and he calls now for a fresh look at what should be done about it. Now, I'll tell you that Republicans have, for decades, prevented any kind of widespread, in-depth research into American gun violence. We don't have a whole lot of surveys or studies about gun violence in America because the Republicans have largely kept that from happening by making sure that gun violence does not be declared a public health concern. So what do you think? Do you think that gun violence should be declared a public health concern, keeping in mind that if it is declared a public health concern, that means that the CDC is going to have control over this discussion? That means that the CDC could come up with regulations, not laws, regulations that deal with gun control. Regulations that could potentially make its way into our American gun culture, perhaps getting by some of the court challenges that it would no doubt face. So what do you think? 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326. You can use the open mic in the WDBO app to let me know your thoughts on that. We'd certainly love to get your take on that. In the meantime, a couple of audio clips here for you. This is so weird. This was Joe Biden earlier this week, and it just kind of speaks for itself.
I also want to thank my buddy Kamala, who I work for up in the White House, for leading on this issue.
So obviously there's two issues there. Kamala, am I wrong that that's not how we pronounce her name? It's not Kamala Harris, right? Is it not Kamala Harris? But it's certainly not Kamala Harris. And then Joe Biden says he works for her.
Major League Baseball is our next.
Oh, hang on. That's my next cut. Hang on.
I also want to thank my buddy Kamala, who I work for up in the White House, for leading on this issue.
Just absolutely bizarre. And poor Joe Biden has no idea where he is or what he's doing or where he's going. And it's just a tragic shame. Jim is in Orlando, joining us now at 844-580-WDBO. Hello, Jim. You're on the Joe Kelley Show.
Yes, my big concern is the weaponization of the FBI and all the other government entities that are laying waste on our education, the school board meetings, all that rot. So I'm a gun carrier, authorized, licensed, all that. And I need it so that I can protect myself from the fools that the cops don't want to put in jail for very long. But that's all I got to say.
Yeah, no doubt, Jim. Thank you so much. I'm glad you called. Thank you for listening. That opens up a line for you at 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326. I'm looking in the chat room, and Pamela is in the chat room, and she is talking about the guy with the scissors. I happen to know that Pamela she's a clink. She is a jail guard. She works for the Department of Corrections. She says the inmate was probably taken to the local hospital to have the scissors removed. Only basic care is done for inmates in a jail or prison: meds, teeth pulled, Band-Aids, etc. So in that case, how would you like to be the poor person at the hospital? There's another job I don't want. The list of jobs that I just couldn't do, that I don't want, grows longer by the day. And I don't want to be the intern or the nurse or the technician at the hospital that has to pull an 8.5-inch pair of Fisker scissors. Honestly, I hope they're able to salvage the Fiskers, because those are quality scissors. They could probably withstand being in the wet and dark and moist environment of being in someone's. It's time to move on. Yes, most definitely so. Hang on. We'll get more of your calls coming up next.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
Won't come as a big surprise to you, but I think I'm getting more open mics about the scissors than I am about the guns, and I can't air many of the open mics about the scissors. So let's first hear about the guns here. Guns, the plurality of Americans. So it's only 26%. So it's barely over a quarter of Americans say that access to guns or firearms is the number one threat to American public health. The next highest on the list at 25%, so only 1 percentage point lower, is opioids and fentanyl, and that really is unchanged since the last time they did a poll. But the concern here should be this is not just a public interest poll. This has serious ramifications if the U.S. government decides to declare gun violence as a public health threat. Then it suddenly becomes the purveyance of the CDC. And that's a problem, because then you're going to have the CDC trying to regulate guns as a health measure.
That would be like saying that car accidents are a public health concern because so many people die in car accidents. The only reason they want to classify it as a health concern is to put regulations on it from a different source. It's all politics. It's so stupid that we allow them to do this.
Yeah, and they may well be doing this if they haven't done it yet, but we'll see.
Heck no, the CDC should not be able to regulate or control that. I mean, look how well they did with COVID. Yeah, COVID, nobody has any trust left in the CDC. I'm afraid. I remember, I've told this story a few times, but I remember when I was a kid, when I was 18, 19 years old, man, I remember thinking, oh, of course you can trust the government. Why would the government lie to us? I used to think to myself. And now, the first thing, anything I hear from anybody from the government, be it on a local level, a statewide level, a national level, or a global level, my first instinct is to be suspicious. I don't trust any of our government representatives. They've got a long way to go to earn trust.
Has anybody looked into the masked shooters and the people that are just going and just shooting people? Has anybody checked to see if they've been vaccinated and if they've had 1, 2, 3, 4 boosters, and to see if there's a correlation between that? Because it sure has gotten out of hand ever since people were told that they need these shots.
So many of the COVID stories were initially written up as hoaxes, only to have them later proven to be true. In fact, I read today that now the CDC is advising people that they should never get more than 1 COVID shot and they should not get any boosters. That's the advice now from the CDC, the same CDC who kept telling us to get shot after shot after shot, booster after booster after booster. Now they say you should only get 1 with no boosters. So it seems crazy to suggest that there might be a connection between COVID and mass shooters. But these days, honestly, I don't even know what to believe anymore. We're going to check the news coming up next. More of your calls and comments on the way straight ahead here on WDBO.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Breaking news to lively debates, covering the issues that matter to you.
I make it a point to listen to Joe Kelley when I need to fully understand what's happening in the news.
Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's news and talk, WDBO.
Man, would I be thankful, I would be so grateful, more than you could possibly imagine, if you went and subscribed to the Joe Kelley Show podcast. That would be amazing. Wherever you get your podcast, be it Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can also get it in the WDBO app and the on-demand button. But if you follow and rate, honestly, if you could rate the Joe Kelley podcast, that would be great. Also, if you look for the Joe Kelley Show Facebook page and follow that would be awesome as well. I do want to play one more open mic here about the gun control issue. As gun violence, now this is the latest Axios Ipsos American Health Index poll. The recent mass shootings has led people to change their views on guns. 26% of respondents said access to guns or firearms is the number one threat to American public health. That is the plurality of respondents saying that gun violence is the greatest concern to public health in the United States. Now, the ultimate effort here is for the U.S. government and for the CDC to declare that gun violence is a public health threat. That way, the CDC would then be able to take control over regulations of guns because they would be treating it as a health threat and not as a constitutionally guaranteed right. Open mic here.
Let me answer that question for the lady talking about the mass shooters in the vaccine. All the mass shooters are proven mostly 99.8% to be Trump supporters and against all vax and against all boosters. So that's that. Okay, lady? Take care and enjoy the cult.
I got to tell you, I don't mind when people disagree, but I do mind when people lie. And what he just said is an absolute lie. It's not true. It's not accurate information. And if you genuinely believe that, then you are terribly misinformed. But we have seen lunatics on both the right and the left commit mass shootings. You needn't look any further than the shooting of Steve Scalise and the other members of Congress who were shot while playing baseball by a Bernie Sanders supporter. There are plenty of gun fanatics that we later find out to be left-leaning, not right-leaning. We do have, yes, there are. Look, there are conservatives and there are liberals, both on the extremes on the outsides, that commit gun violence. But to say that whatever that fake statistic that you just made up, the 99.8 or whatever it is, that is categorically not true or a lie, depending on whether or not you're just ill-informed or if you're just making stuff up as you go. Richard is in Leesburg joining us now at 844-580-WDBO. Hey, Richard, welcome to the Joe Kelley Show.
Hey, Joe, how you doing today?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Well, your scissor thing, I'm curious how he was managing to hide the handles on a pair of 8.5-inch.
Honestly, yeah, the handles are wide. I mean, that yes, I'm with you on the handles.
Well, being a skinny guy like you, I don't know of any white guys that had enough booty to hide them handles.
Yeah, I did you want to talk about guns also? Because I really want to get off the scissors topic. I'm starting to regret bringing up the scissor topic.
Oh, I bet. The gun thing, the access to guns, I don't really know that is a problem. And as far as people's perceptions of the biggest threat, it seems like the biggest threat is going to be whatever the media talks about the most.
Tragically, you're probably right.
If we were back to talking about drunk driving, then we'd have Mothers Against Drunk Drivers back in the headlines again.
Yeah.
Like you, I went to high school in Texas. There were guns in the racks and all the pickup trucks when we were kids.
In high school, in our high school parking lot, there were pickup trucks that would have gun racks in the back window, and there would be a shotgun in the gun rack back in high school. I remember those days well, and I was.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Seriously, I'm going through the open mics, and I'm loving all the open mic comments that you guys have left about the prison wallet and the scissors. And I just think that I am not going to play all of those or any more of those. 844-580-WDBO. Matthew is in the WG Winter Garden. You're on WDBO. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very good.
I just think that the economy is probably the worst threat to human health in the United States, and maybe the CDC should try to do something about that.
Well, that is interesting because, Matthew, I'm sure you've read the same reports that I have read that the economy is going to get vastly worse before it gets any better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest health threat we have, I believe. I don't think it's guns. Maybe it's some of the people that have the guns, but
but even with that, we don't want to declare that the economy is a public health threat, because that means the CDC would get engaged, and none of us trust the CDC, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
But,
so I know there's a bit of hyperbole in your comment, but I think you're right. I think the economy is going to be a greater threat to us than guns will be here in the short term. I don't know if you're aware of the comments from Elon Musk that he made earlier this week. Elon, hang on, I got to check the. Okay, Elon Musk condemned people that work from home, saying that it's morally wrong, saying that the practice is unfair for service workers who still have to show up for work. Musk, who's worth $175 billion, the second richest person in the world, has often criticized working from home that became a necessity during the COVID-19 lockdowns. But for many businesses, the practice has continued in this post-pandemic era. So he says that he believes all workers should go back to work, that it's a productivity issue, but it's also a moral issue. People should, this is the quote from Elon Musk, and I'm going to have to bleep part of what he says here. People should get off their GD moral high horse with this bull S, because they're asking everyone else to not work from home while they do. It's wrong. He is saying that service workers still have to go to work. Well, so then you probably also recognize the name Kevin Leary. Kevin Leary is the dude from the Shark Tank. He's Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank. I love Kevin Leary. And he says that he doesn't mind if staff at his 54 companies work from home, and he certainly doesn't think it's immoral. He takes issue with what Elon Musk has to say. They find that 87% of the American workforce would choose to work somewhat flexible hours if the opportunity was afforded to them. Kevin O'Leary said, the world's changed, the economies have changed, the ethics of work have changed. We went through an extraordinary period during this pandemic. The idea that you'd split up a headquarters and you'd let people leave a headquarters to work from home was not even contemplated. It was considered too risky. Now it's a proven effective method or project management. In Elon's case, though, he says, this is Kevin O'Leary, in Elon's case, to be fair about what he's talking about, when you're in a highly engineered business like Tesla or SpaceX, I get the idea that you want collaboration between engineers. They're sitting around trying to solve design problems or whatever. But O'Leary says that this fact has nothing to do with the other sectors of the economy, which have already proven that they can work from home just fine. So what do you think? Do you think that working from home is immoral, like Elon Musk says? Immoral. To work from home while others have to go to work. You know, we have had that same situation here at our radio station because all of us on-air talent have had to come to work. We don't have a choice. We have to be here while we went. Some of us, broadcast from home, and even Paul Cross to this day, you're broadcasting from home. But on the other side of our building, where the administrative side is and the sales side is, they only come to work 1 or 2 days a week, and they don't come to work on those other days. Doesn't mean they don't work. Doesn't mean they're not being productive. I don't begrudge them, and I hope they don't begrudge me. But unlike Elon Musk, who says it's not fair, I reject that. Of course, it's fair. It only works in radio if we come to work like this, if we come into the studio. We have jobs that require us to be here. You can't control a giant audio console from home. Now, let me do an asterisk. Yes, you can actually control it from home. We do have the technology to do it, but we generally don't want to do that. We have to answer phone lines. We've got a lot of stuff that requires us to be in the building, but our salespeople are usually out on the streets anyway. So there's no reason for them to be here, unlike what Elon Musk says. Do you think it is immoral? Do you still work from home? Would you rather work from home than have to show up at the office? 844-580-WDBO. It's 844-580-9326, or use the open mic in the WDBO app.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Your next chance to win the WDBO payroll payout of $1,000 happens Monday at 8 a.m. during Orlando's morning news. Just listen for the keyword and then tap the payroll payout button in the WDBO app.
$1,000. $1,000.
Get paid just for listening to WDBO.
This is awesome.
All right, Elon Musk says working from home is immoral. Let's go to John in Castleberry. Hi, John. You're on WDBO.
Oh, good evening, son. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you, too.
How you doing? Yeah, I have two things about it. My daughter thinks it's a great idea working from home.
Yeah.
But her boss has informed her, I pay an office building. I pay rent. I need you people here because this is what I pay for. And that's a little discussion right there.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And if you look through downtown Orlando, I mean, in downtown Orlando, there's all kinds of empty office buildings right now, all across the nation. I read that in San Francisco, the cost per square foot for commercial real estate in San Francisco is down 75% because nobody is working in those downtown office buildings.
And you got majority of them are the same thing in New York. They're over there in New York. And I don't know if you saw that they already took over the Hotel Roosevelt.
Yeah.
They were going to do something else with it. Yeah. Now they converted it. Well, it's empty. Just put, the immigrants in there until we decide.
Hey, by the way, I got to tell you, I'm going to be in Castleberry tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon. I'll be at the Creative Floors showroom in Castleberry. That is on State Road 436. State Road 436? Yeah, that's right. So, anyhow, if you come by, I'll be in Castleberry tomorrow. I'd love to get a chance to meet you if you want to come by.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be a pleasure. Yeah. You'll be on 436. What is the cross street on 436?
I haven't the slightest idea. Hang on. Let me just tell you once again. So the name of the business is Creative Floors Showroom. So just look for Creative Floors Showroom there in Castle.
Oh, I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah,
and that's exactly know where that at.
Outstanding. That's I'll be there.
It would be a pleasure to meet you there.
It would be my pleasure, and I'll be there tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon. Anybody else who wants to come out there, I'd love to say hi to you. It's actually Josh McCarthy who's going to be out there. I'm just going to be out there supporting my bud Josh McCarthy. But anyhow, we're going to be broadcasting out there, so come join us. We'll have a lot of fun. Coming up next, it is Friday night fun and games, and we've got a delicious, an appetizing stack of would you rather questions that we're going to get to know everybody very well by how they answer these questions. That is coming up next. Stay right there.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Now, WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Triple Team Traffic.
Well, the Turnpike is at a crawl. We've got a crash here at mile marker 276 in Lake County as you're making your way down toward Orange County. So this is the Turnpike southbound, and we're looking at a really long backup. Probably going to take you an additional, it's like 48 to 50 minutes to get through this. Also, still some heavy delays on I-4 in between Longwood and the bridge. It's going to be some patience required tonight with some of the scattered rain that we've been having as well. This report sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey, shoppers, your local farmers letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. And from the WDBO Triple Team Traffic Center, I'm Paul Cross.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Orlando's news and talk. Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. Join the conversation now by using the open mic in the WDBO app. Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's news and talk. WDBO.
It is Friday night. Scattered showers in the Orlando area. It's all right. It's the weekend. We're all very, very excited. We got high school graduations going on. Kids are moving on to the next stage of their lives. That's so exciting. And it's been a long week. There's been so much hard news that we have been, dealing with this week. And just at the end of the day, at the end of the week, we like to unwind a little bit, have a little bit of fun. And we like to play games in the final hour here on a Friday night. And tonight we're going to play Would You Rather. Honestly, I like Would You Rather better than the Generation Gap anyway, because it's less trivia and it's more about getting to know people's dark sides, right? As we ask questions, would you rather? I don't need to explain a would you rather question to our listeners, do I? We give people a set of options and they can choose if they'd rather do this or if they'd rather do that. And our contestants tonight are Laurel. You just say hi after I say your name. So there's Laurel.
Hello there.
We have Sophie.
Greetings.
We have Randy.
Hello.
We have Nicole.
Hi.
Well, we have Paul.
Hello.
And we have me.
Hello. How are you, everybody?
You guys ready for the first question?
Yep. Maybe.
Go.
All right. Which payout would you choose? $10,000 right now, $50,000 a year from now, $1 million in 6 years, or $1 billion in 30 years? Laurel.
$1 million in 6 years.
Sophie.
A year from now, because I'd be graduating and I definitely need that money then.
That's a good point. Randy?
$1 billion seems like the safest option.
$1 million 6 years from now.
The best long term. Yeah, the best one long term, but never know what's going to happen in 30 years. So.
Nicole?
I would say 1 year as well, because I also, too, will be graduating.
We need that bread.
So $50,000 in a year.
Definitely.
Paul?
That'll cover it.
As Steve Miller once sang, take the money and run. I would take the $10,000 right now. See you later.
Honestly, $10,000 could have a pretty big impact. I think a lot of people, $10,000 right now could change a lot of people's lives. I'm going to go with the $1 million in 6 years. That's for sure. All right. If you had to lose a finger, which one would you rather lose? The pointer, the middle finger, the ring finger, the pinky finger, or the thumb? Yes, I know the thumb isn't a finger, but it kind of is a finger, so we're counting the thumb.
Who said it's not a finger?
People say that.
People are wrong.
It's a finger.
Yeah.
It's definitely a finger.
For this discussion, we're calling it a finger.
Yes.
So you have to lose one. Laurel, which one are you going to lose?
Pinky. I don't need it to write.
But you can't have tea without a pinky. Sophie.
Okay, so I need both my pinky, my thumb, and my middle finger. I'm going to go ring.
You're going to get rid of your ring finger?
Oh, yeah. On my right hand.
Well, okay. All right.
Is it just one finger on one hand,
Yes.
or that same finger on both hands?
No, we're not going to. Well, we're not monsters. We're not going to take two fingers
we're
off.
not monsters.
We're only going to take one finger off. Randy.
I don't know. Pinky finger seems like the least useful.
No, you need it. You need it to hold things.
You need it for tea.
Tea. That's all you need it for.
Nicole.
I have a left
I'm going to go
hand.
with my pinky. I don't drink tea.
Paul.
Pinky all the way.
Yeah,
I'm better than all of you. I said the smartest thing.
I got to tell you, I think I am with Sophie on this one. I think I would go with my right ring finger because that would my fingers would be more spread out. So I'd still have the pinky.
I use my ring finger to hold my pens. I need it to write.
Oh, I don't remember how I hold a pen.
By the way, I'm getting crud for this $10,000 taking the money and run thing. I'm getting some
people are giving you grief for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. In the chat room right now, $10,000
it's nothing now.
Anymore.
It's absolutely nothing. No?
Yeah, would change your next 30 days, and that's about
it's
it.
It's $10,000 more than I have right this very second. How's that?
Would you rather die and no one remembers you, or die and everyone remembers you as a bad person? Laurel.
No, don't remember me. It's fine. I'm gone.
Sophie.
Remembered as a bad person. All press is good press.
Randy.
So true, Sophie. I want attention.
I am a bad person.
Nicole.
I would like to be forgotten.
Paul.
Forget me.
I would absolutely choose to be forgotten. That would be my ideal scenario. I want that no matter what. So would you rather be sad or extremely angry for the rest of your life? Laurel.
Oh, that's hard. I'll go sad.
Because sad sucks.
Sad does suck, but angry, I'm going to lash out at other people and cut people off on the roads and stuff. So I'll just be sad.
So you don't do that already?
See, Joe, you named the two emotions I bounce between the most. So I'm going to go angry.
Sadness and anger?
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. You're going to go with angry?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, Randy.
That's scary.
Definitely angry. I'm more productive when I'm angry.
Like
that's an interesting
Sorry,
thought.
other people.
That's a really interesting thought. You're right, because if I was angry, I would still be productive. If I'm sad, I'm probably not going to be productive.
I was always like all the way to the wall angry.
Yeah.
I'd get stuff done so systematically and quickly.
Lit a fire under my butt.
Nicole.
Mm.
There's only two options.
The
Sad
third
or
one.
angry?
I think sad, because angry I'd probably end up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Paul?
Yeah.
Sad. I'd probably say sad.
I hate to say it, but
Aw, you sounded like Eeyore.
I say sad too. I think the stress of being angry all the time would put me in the grave much earlier than it should.
I have a Spotify playlist that's just for being sad. I don't have a Spotify playlist for being angry.
I have
maybe I
both.
should make one.
That's called grunge.
Yeah. All right, here we're going to get into some death questions. You guys, I know how much you like the death questions. No? Is it just me that likes the death questions?
Yeah, it's just you. You're alone.
All right. Would you rather die
Yes.
from Alzheimer's, fire, drowning, starvation, or a bullet to the chest? Laurel.
It's between fire and bullet. I will go fire. I'll be warm at least.
Wow, that is...
Oh, my God.
That's a reaction that can only come from sitting in these 67-degree studios all day.
I feel like you've never been burned. Sophie.
Bullet to the chest, maybe? They're all bad.
Randy.
Fire. There'll be drama.
Nicole.
I think bullet. That's probably the quickest.
I'm Paul.
I'm glad
Bullet.
we see eye to eye.
Yeah, I am definitely bullet to the chest. Absolutely.
But my heart.
As
take me out
quickly
right.
as you
I don't
can
want to
get
be
it over.
bleeding to death for 2 hours. Don't miss.
Yeah, you're right. So you definitely in the heart then.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Something's going to take me out immediately.
Put a target wherever you think your heart is. Somewhere in your chest.
It's like in the center.
That's right. It's on the far, far right-hand side.
It's actually at my lower. I don't even know.
Okay. Now, this might be the most controversial question, and I think this is going to divide us all quite a bit. Would you rather your house be at a constant 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 90 degrees Fahrenheit? Laurel.
90. Easy.
I could have answered that one for her.
Sophie.
My parents keep the house cold, but I currently live somewhere where it's hot, so I can do either, but I'm going to say hot.
Wow, Randy.
No, I'm going to say cold. Cold.
Wait, what? You just changed?
I changed.
So cold.
Yes, blankets.
Randy.
50 easy. I look great in layers.
All right, Nicole.
50 blankets are a lot cheaper.
Paul.
50, easy. You can always put stuff on, but when it's 90, you can't take anything more off once you're naked.
Yes, I'm
So true.
I'm
You can't
with
take
you.
your skin off.
I am definitely, I would much rather be at 50 degrees than at 90 degrees. All right, this next question's a little weird, maybe. Would you rather be underweight or overweight? Laurel.
Underweight.
Sophie.
Underweight. I was underweight most of my life. Wife.
Wife?
Life?
Randy.
Underweight.
Nicole.
I'm not going to answer this one because I have been underweight my whole life.
I've been both.
And it's not fun, and
Yeah,
I
I've
also
been
don't
both.
want to be. So I'm just neutral on this one.
Paul.
Under.
And then
It's not that fun, guys.
I have been underweight my whole life.
Yeah.
So I think I would just rather remain underweight
Yeah, I'll stay this way.
than overweight. All right. Would you like another death question?
No, thank you.
Would you rather die slowly in agony in 40 years or die instantly in 20 years? Laurel.
Oh, wow.
20 years. That's good. I'm tired. It's fine.
Maybe it's just because it's the end of a long day. Don't make rash decisions based upon your current
The
mood.
game. The game is rash decision.
Okay, Sophie. Would
Joe,
you?
do you ever wonder if you're creating self-fulfilling prophecies here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So,
I'm
Sophie,
not answering that for that reason.
would you rather die slowly in agony in 40 years or die instantly in 20 years?
I'm not answering. I got the heebie-jeebies.
Randy.
40 years, I love giving my future self problems that I can deal with later.
Nicole.
20, I think, is enough for me.
Paul.
I'm about the quicker the better. It's got to be just get it over.
Get that 401k out and just live your life.
You know, I hate to say this, but I think I'm going to go with agony in 40 years.
Of course you would.
I don't want to be immortal, but I would like another 40 years. So
Yeah, then check on us later when you're 40 years from now when you say, "Why did I do this?"
I know, but I'll be going to.
he's gonna be calling
I will
us.
be going to all of your funerals. You understand that, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is
Joe,
true.
do you think I'm only going to last another, how long do you think I'm going to last?
How old do you think we are?
Well,
We're children.
No, but you're going to die in 20
I
years.
didn't
I'm going to
answer.
die
You
in
don't
40
know.
years. That's why.
Joe has a calendar
You're gonna
marked
be-
with all of our death dates.
That's right. I know all of your death dates.
Joe, you're fulfilling a prophecy where you're going to
We'll
be
have special
100
shows
years
for all
old
of
and die in agony anyway.
Well, see, the thing is, I am going to be 100 years old. I am going to live to 100. All right, so
there you go.
Could you please do like a live cast from all of our funerals?
Yes.
Citation
It's
needed.
Joe Kelley. We're at the Nicole Diaz funeral today.
She made a decision 20 years ago to die today.
Somehow you still
died
lump us
quickly.
together.
Yes.
Use Bad Bunny as the intro music.
You'll be
please.
glad to know that she died painlessly and died very quickly. Would you rather have free health care for the rest of your life
Easy.
or
Yeah.
free gas for the rest of your life? Laurel.
I'm going gas. I can go some more places.
Sophie.
I already live somewhere where healthcare is so expensive. Gas.
Randy.
I can never move somewhere that has free gas, but I can move somewhere with universal health care. So I'll go with free gas.
Nicole.
So is the free health care, where's that coming from? The government? Because no, like
Well, I would
there
imagine
has
it would.
been
I would
definitely
imagine it would
speculation
come
on
from doctors.
the
I'm
doctors
sure. Thank you, Joe.
funding insurance.
It's coming from me.
End scene.
If it's
That's
coming
right.
from the government, it's probably not
Dr.
going to be
Randy.
great because anything free that the government gives out is usually not great. So if it's from the government, I would say free gas and then move to a country that actually has decent health care.
All right, Paul.
Free gas.
Considering
all the
my
time.
age right now, I would take the health care.
Wow, controversial.
I would take the free gas. I mean,
You could
just
move somewhere that's got free health care. Almost every other
Exactly.
successful country has it.
we have health care here.
It's not free
Universal.
But it's expensive.
Taxpayer funded.
unless you're like 65.
Okay, hang on. The next question is going to cause a lot of people some heartburn. So hang on. We will continue
I
our
already have heartburn.
what? We'll get the thumbs out. Our Friday night fun and games with Would You Rather will continue coming up next. Stay with us here on this Friday night on the Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Your next chance to win the WDBO payroll payout of $1,000 happens Monday at 8 a.m. during Orlando's morning news. Just listen for the keyword and then tap the payroll payout button in the WDBO app.
$1,000. $1,000.
Get paid just for listening to WDBO.
This is awesome.
So would you rather be single forever or spend the rest of your life with your ex? Right? Laurel.
Single forever. I'm done.
Sophie.
I am not answering this.
Randy.
I don't have an ex. I just have what I have now.
Nicole.
I think mine's in prison, so I don't know if that's going to work out. So I'm going to say single.
It might actually work out really well.
Paul.
Solo all the way.
I would rather be
If they're an ex for a reason, I think everyone can agree on that.
yeah,
one.
Sometimes that's not the case, guys.
Don't start that, Sophie. Don't bring that on there.
What?
No,
What is happening in that room?
There's tea. There's tea about Sophie.
What?
I love you.
Hey. Sometimes
The tea's only lukewarm. It's
I think
not
her
boiling.
mic's a little too loud at this point.
Just shut it off.
All right. So we'll move on from that question then. That
Thank
was
you.
poorly received, it seems.
Appreciate it.
Would you rather have a permanently bitter taste in your mouth or permanently smell like a wet dog? Laurel.
I'll take the taste. That way I'm not spreading the misery.
Sophie.
Taste in my mouth. I can chew gum forever.
Randy.
Yep, same as Sophie.
Nicole.
Taste. I don't need to, punish everybody else.
Paul.
I guess I'll stay with the taste too.
I was going to
don't
go
wanna
with
smell
wet.
like a
I was
dog.
going to go with wet dog, but now I feel the peer pressure that you guys are all doing
Peer
the
pressure.
Hey
taste.
guys,
Why would you make
PSA,
us-
Joe wants to be stinky.
Yeah, why would you make us smell you?
Well,
Gosh.
I don't want bitter taste in my mouth all the time.
Do you want everybody around you to be miserable?
As
He
long as
won't
it's
have too
them.
many people around
Joe
him.
said, I don't care.
All right. Would you rather be able to? Oh, yeah, I can relate to this one. Would you rather be able to remember things very well, but not be able to explain it very well, or not be able to remember things that good, but be really good at explaining it?
How can you explain it if you don't remember?
It means you're a liar. Do you
Thank
know
you.
that, Joe? That means lying.
That seems like a terrible question,
Yeah,
right?
next.
Was this
Another one.
was
We'll
this
give
an
you a chance.
episode of Big Bang Theory?
Should we
I have a feeling it was an episode.
Should
of
we
Big
skip
Bang
that question? I feel like we should just
Yeah,
skip
more
that
favorite.
question.
Theory. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have... Oh, what would you rather have leak on the internet? Your bank statements, including account balances, or nudes? Laurel.
My bank account. I got no money. It's fine. Everybody can see.
Sophie.
Leak my bank account. The second one will cost money.
Randy.
Nudes. My bank account's never leaked anywhere before.
Nicole.
Bank account. I mean, it's going to be the average bank account of a broke college student, so I don't think there's any surprise there.
Paul.
Either way, I'll have sympathy for a GoFundMe, so it didn't matter to me.
Sounds good, Paul.
Yeah, I'd probably take the bank account.
It's Paul's world. We're living in it.
I'm going to go with nudes. I just put them out there. Let's just put them all out there. All right, we got time for one more question here this half hour. Oh, yeah, I love this. Would you rather fight a horse-sized honey badger?
We have done these before.
Not this one. We've not done this one. We have not done this one. Would you rather fight a horse-sized honey badger or 100 honey badger-sized horses? Laurel.
The horses. I'll take the horse. The little ones, the tiny horses.
Sophie.
Little horses. I can kick.
Randy.
Same.
Nicole.
Little horses are closer to my size.
Paul.
Yeah, little horses. Bring them on.
Me too, little horses, because honey badgers.
You guys are tall and big. You guys
Take
should
the
be
honey
able to
badger.
Fighting a horse-sized honey badger?
Take it like an adult.
They're to your height.
That'd be
Fight
like
somebody your own size.
It'd be like fighting Godzilla. I mean, that would be so huge.
To us, to you, that's like, oh, a friend.
Yeah.
All right, you guys can hit us up in the chat room with your answers as well, or hit us up in the open mic in the WDBO app. We will continue our Friday night fun and games. Stay with us here as we've got some light showers across Central Florida. We'll continue next.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Talk and discussion on the latest breaking national news.
Crude oil prices continue to fall.
Local news.
You're not going to have Disney have its own government in Central Florida.
And stories that matter to you. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let your voice be heard on the Joe Kelley Show.
Well, it is our Friday night fun and games, and we are playing Would You Rather tonight. We're really learning a lot about our colleagues and our listeners. As we ask these scruples type questions of what kind of character people really have, and we really learn about the psyche and the innards of people. I'm thrilled about that. All right, your next question: would you rather have unlimited gas in your car at all times or an unlimited charge on your cell phone? Laurel.
Good gas. I hate getting gas, so gas.
Sophie.
Gas costs more than charging my phone. Gas.
Randy.
Yeah, same reason as Sophie.
Nicole.
Gas.
Paul.
This thing on? Hello? Testing? Yeah, I would take the gas any day.
It's kind of a no-brainer, right? Yeah, I would do gas as well. This one's a little bit more difficult, though. Would you rather earn $50,000 a day for 1 year or raid Fort Knox but only be given 30 seconds to snatch as much gold as you can? And I'm afraid this comes back to like one of those drug questions. Like how...
Gold
like,
is not drugs.
No, but we don't know how to measure drugs, and I don't know that we know how to measure gold.
The average
I think drug
weight
dealers
and
know how to measure drugs.
weight and value
people
of
who
a
sell
bar.
them
Hang on, listen to Randy. Randy knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know the average weight and value of a gold bar, or
Right.
I'm sure there are
Okay.
variations of
I
a
thought he
gold
was
bar.
saying like that, like nobody knows, and I was like, people.
Not to be
No,
that person,
people
but I think we
know.
can assume.
People, I'm saying we don't know. I have
Providing
for yourself,
providing there's
Joe.
gold in Fort Knox.
and right, provided that there is gold in
Hey,
Fort
what about the
Knox.
cheese caves?
But keep in mind that gold prices also fluctuate day to day. But
What?
the question is $50,000 a day for 1 year or 30 seconds to snatch as much gold as you can
Is
from
the
Fort
30
Knox.
seconds every day?
No, it's one time only.
These are not equivalent.
Laurel,
Yeah, the $50K a day is guaranteed. We're doing that.
it's only guaranteed for 1 year.
I
Cool.
don't care.
Quick, someone do the math. What's 365 times $50,000?
Going.
Sophie, what's your
It's
answer?
18,250,000.
$18 million?
That sounds like enough for me.
Oh, wow, that does sound like a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm not lifting my
does.
arms at Fort Knox. I'm okay.
Yeah. Right. I don't know, but what if like a bar of gold? Someone look up what a bar of gold is.
Not $18 million.
Maybe it's $7,000 million.
Sure. It's only worth 1,000 if it's for 1 ounce.
Oh, that's 1 ounce. Yeah. No, we're talking about a brick, a bar of gold.
So since no one
Or guaranteed $50,000 a day.
Yeah.
and we don't know the exact dimension.
$67,000.
$67,000 for a bar of gold?
That's nothing.
The
I can't make it out of there with at
One
least 6 of those, so I'd make more just sitting with passive income of $50,000.
All right, so are we all in agreement then? $50,000 a day?
And you can invest that. Make your money.
Take the money and run.
Yep. All right, next question. You're given a chance to cause the extinction of one type of bug or pest. Which would you completely exterminate from? Can I finish the question?
That sounded personal.
Which would you eliminate completely? Mosquitoes, hornets, cockroaches, bed bugs, parasitic worms, or spiders? Laurel.
Mosquitoes, hands down.
Sophie.
Okay, so just so you guys know, mosquitoes have a purpose. They're pollinators, so I don't recommend you get rid of
They're
them. 'Cause
pollinators?
They're considered
No,
a
they're
key. I thought they're pollinators. They have a purpose here.
No, their only purpose is to be spider food.
They have a purpose, and as well as spiders eat the flies. So I'm going to go hornets.
All right. Randy.
Homo sapiens wasn't on the list.
No.
Okay. I'll go with love bugs.
Love bugs wasn't one of the options.
Wait, Paul said love bugs.
Paul's not in
it was one of the
charge.
options.
Paul is barely employed with us. Paul's not even here.
Guys, quickly, can I interject? So mosquitoes form an important source of biomass in the food chain. They serve as food for fish, and some species are important pollinators.
She spilled.
So you want us to keep mosquitoes?
I want us to care.
You need to go over the options.
Wait, did Paul just leave?
He did. He straight up left.
Paul just left?
He's done.
What the hell? You can't just
Guys, we're
leave.
getting off topic.
Paul, please, you have a couple more traffic reports.
Now, see,
I'm back now.
I would go with mosquitoes.
Well, I just gave you important information.
I would go with mosquitoes because I think out of all those bugs, mosquitoes kill more people on the planet than the rest of those critters.
I beg to differ. As somebody who has spent over a month trying to get over some spider bites thanks to Vegas, I'm going to get rid of spiders.
Hey, what happens in Vegas?
No.
Does not say in
You
Vegas,
gotta
it's
go.
in your leg.
Got to
Okay?
go with the state bird of Florida. You got to get rid of that mosquito.
Mosquitoes, yeah.
That's the state bird.
No, Amy, that's a joke.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, if I may ask a personal question, Nicole, how is your spider bite doing? Is it healing
I was
now?
just in the urgent care last night.
Is
So
that
the eggs
right?
erupted last night.
Wait, did they really?
Yeah, I was in the urgent care last night.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Because
still not
the
over
eggs
it.
erupted, he's asking.
No,
I
not
was lying.
They are crawling all over the desk. Her
The
foot
first
is
round
on
of
the
antibiotics
floor.
did not
Okay,
do what
hang
it
on.
was supposed to do.
So, for people who don't, can we get into this? You brought it
Sure.
up.
Yeah, I
So
know.
when you went to Vegas for the
BEA NAB convention.
right, you got bit by something. What was it while you were
It was
sleeping?
me.
I don't know. We did. There was one night that we were we had to cross a side street.
So we were walking through bushes.
Yeah, we walked through a bush, and I'm like, it could have happened then. It could have happened while I was sleeping. It could have happened at any point. I sent
But
the
whatever,
pictures.
but whatever it was, bit you, laid eggs.
In the first 2 bites, yes. But it looks like that got infected, and that's why it was so bad and so severe. And my leg was 3 times its size. And then the first round of antibiotics clearly did not wipe it out, and now I'm on a second round of antibiotics.
So do you still
With
have
a dermatology
Do you still
appointment.
have eggs in your leg?
I don't think so. I think this is just an infection. That's just
Did they-
that caused an infection in my skin, and my skin's not over it yet.
Did they pull eggs out of your leg?
They drained it.
Were there eggs in the drainage?
Not like physical, not like a
I'm
solid.
just trying to find out if there's eggs.
not like solid. Not the kind of eggs you're imagining.
Okay.
It was just white stuff.
That's terrible. Is that going to leave a permanent scar, do you think?
I think, but I'm putting all kinds of skincare on it, so we'll see.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. I want to kill spiders on behalf of you.
Thank you.
Are you sure it was a spider?
That's what I don't know.
Because you didn't see it, right?
No, I didn't see it. That's just what my doctor was like. That's what it looks like, and I was like, okay. But he also lived in Vegas for quite some time. I think he studied there.
But it
So
could have
he
been
was
maybe could have been a scorpion,
that
would be really
I feel like
cool.
I would feel that.
not a snake.
Nah, I'm terrified of snakes. I feel like I would have seen a snake.
Were your legs bare when you walked through the field?
No,
You weren't wearing shorts or a skirt?
I was wearing shorts. Yeah.
Okay, so your legs were bare as you walked through the field.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was not.
So would you
Yeah, it was
rather
on the
have
strip.
her leg
We walked
or
through
fight
bushes
a
on the
honey
strip.
badger the size of a horse?
I would rather.
have Nicole's rotten leg.
Guys,
She's going to be walking around with a peg leg, like a
I've been
That would be
watering-
so
I've been
cool.
watering the
Like a
studios all week. I'm like,
Amy, when are you going to get a peg leg? That'd be Nicole.
All right, so hang on. We'll ask our next question coming up next. We got like 3 more questions left for you guys, so hang on, stand by. That'll be coming up in just a moment. Don't forget the third hour of the Sean Hannity Show. That's on the way just after 7 o'clock tonight. You can check out the Joe Kelley Show podcast wherever you get your podcast, Spotify. You can get it on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget, Monday morning, 8 a.m. is your next chance to win $1,000 in the WDBO payroll payout. Set an appointment to turn on your radios at 8 o'clock Monday morning for your next chance to win here from WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
6:51 now. We're 9 minutes away from 7 o'clock here on WDBO. My name is Joe Kelley. You're listening to the Joe Kelley Show. Thank you so much for being a part of our Friday night fun and games. You can check out the video if you want to be able to see the behind the scenes here, as we've got a live video stream and a chat going on the WDBO Facebook page. Since it is Friday night and everybody is exhausted from working so hard, even in radio, it's a lot of work saying a lot of words throughout the week, and by the end of the week, we're just out of words. We run out of words to say, so we're taking it easier tonight, and we're asking would you rather questions. Are you guys ready for the next question? Good. Would you rather work? Would you rather work for a corrupt corporation that pays you an insanely high salary, knowing that their practices harm others, or have a minimum wage paying job with a company that aligns with your moral values? Laurel.
I'm taking the minimum wage. I savor my soul. I want to go to heaven.
Oh, good. Sophie.
See, Joe, I'm already not making a ton of money. So I'm going to go minimum wage because I'm not evil.
Randy?
In this life, it's impossible to be completely ethical in any circumstance, and that's
Randy's
my
like,
way of saying I'm taking the money. Sorry, everybody else.
So next week, I'll be starting at the Killing Babies factory.
Oh, no.
Wow.
They didn't respond to my internship.
Nicole, what about you?
I can't even follow that.
I know.
He's
Paul.
right, but if I'm already making, like Sophie said, I'm already making minimum.
Let me see if I can justify it a different way. What if we justify it this way? The only way you can help an evil corporation change is by working for the corporation, and change.
You can't paint it that way.
Change,
Sorry.
No,
change,
yeah, that's not.
Change comes from within.
No, it
so you could
doesn't.
make an insanely high
What are they
salary.
thinking? Pollution?
When I
How
get
bad
to-
is it?
I'll make sure to put that on my LinkedIn when
Am I
get to
working
the
for
Killing
BP?
Baby factory.
Hey, am I
Killing
working for
baby
BP, like where they're
factory.
spilling oil?
Oh, for heaven's sake! All
No,
right,
You know what makes changes? Lawsuits.
all right.
Yes.
Would you rather rid the world of all mean people or all stupid people? Laurel.
Easy, stupid people.
Sophie.
If I got rid of the mean people, I wouldn't be here. So stupid.
Randy.
Stupid people, mean people make the world turn.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Nicole.
Hot take.
Stupid people. I think we'd all drive in peace for once.
The roadways would be empty.
Paul.
I guess I'd go with stupid, but who's to say what stupid is?
I
Just
gotta tell
anybody
you,
who differs from your opinion?
Reasonable.
I got to tell you, everybody's
Exactly, Paul,
answer.
you
No, IQ test immediately.
Everybody's answer has surprised me. I would absolutely get rid of all the mean people.
Joe, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna keep the stupid people. I'll be like a god among men, right?
Oh my God. Okay.
We'll keep
no.
all the stupid people.
That is not the right reason to do
All right.
So you're assuming that when the stupid people are all gone, you'll still be here?
Got him.
You know what?
Paul said what he said.
You know what?
Paul, your show starts tomorrow.
You know what?
Joe Kelley's got the box. He's packing up.
I'm packing up.
No.
laying the
My first day of unemployment is tomorrow.
That is
because
gonna-
I'm barely an employee here.
That is going to be.
Whoa, we're stoking a lot of coals in this conversation.
That is going to be the final comments for the show tonight. My name is Joe Kelley, and on behalf of our great cast of characters here tonight, Laurel and Randy and
Ciao.
Nicole and Sophie and Paul and me and everybody and the dog named Kylo. I don't know what that dog's name is. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here. What?
Kylie Ann.
Kylie Ann? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the dog's name. Third hour of Hannity is coming up next. Stay here on WDBO.